What's up, guys? This is Jay from COI. So, yesterday, Ocasio-Cortez did a live stream in which she had said that she will not vote for the most recent expansion of the Paycheck Protection Program. To take this back a little bit, the Paycheck Protection Program was it was included in the first bailout that we had dealing with COVID. It was a $350 fund, $350 billion fund that was set up by the SBA, the Small Business Association. And this was to allow small businesses to take a loan to which they could pay their employees. And if they did it, that loan would be forgiven. Within 2 days, it had been completely wiped out. Not to mention the fact that by the time most people, that wasn't COVID, by the way, by the time most people actually got to apply for it, it was already done because banks were holding off on letting most small businesses even apply for it. And at that time, big businesses were applying for it because the biggest issue with the Paycheck Protection Program, aside from the fact that it's underfunded, is the fact that it has so many loopholes. One of the biggest loopholes I noticed was that it says in there that you have to be able to apply for it, you have to be able to have less than 500 employees at each of your locations. That's a huge company. If you have more than 500 people at each of your locations, that's a huge company. It's not a small business. A small mom and pop shop does not even employ 500 people. I'm sorry, that has to be at least the standard. Not to mention, oh, well, they've got 20 stores with less than 500 people. No, they're not a small business at that point. The My Pillow guy is not a small business. But anyway, so by the time small businesses were actually able to apply for this, the money was gone. It was gone in 2 days, and arguably less than that if you would have actually looked at as quickly as it was going. Most people argue within 2 hours it was already bone dry. Now, the day after, Donald Trump tweeted that we need more funding for the PPP. And he was 100% correct. Now, that was almost 20 days ago that he tweeted that, by the way. And here we are, kicking around an expansion. The expansion that McConnell is talking about is a $200 billion expansion, in which AOC had reportedly said no on the first bailout. She also says no on this bailout as well, saying that it is a tiny band-aid on a gaping wound. It will do nothing, and it doesn't address other problems that are aligned with not only COVID but our economy. And no, not the same issues that her Democratic colleagues have, like not enough Native American people will profit off of this. Nothing like that. No, Ocasio-Cortez has said that her biggest fear, above all, is this minuscule bill. This bill that passes billions, in which most people will get a nickel or a dime out of and say, hey, I got something out of it, is going to be enough to suffice DC to say, okay, we passed something, let's go back home for another month. And we don't have that time. They should be in DC right now, passing bills left and right. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, if you're on the left or the right, you shouldn't be holding off for things. You shouldn't be trying to do this kind of horse trading back and forth. Well, I'll give you this if you give me that. If you give No, we need to pass these bills yesterday. They should be done quickly, accurate, and constant, honestly, at this point. And that's AOC's argument. She said if everyone was still in Congress right now, she would probably pass this. It wouldn't be a big deal. But she doesn't want them to become complacent and use this as a kind of get out of free card. Hey, we did it. All right, pat ourselves on the back. Let's go home. Because if that's the case, then this bill needs to be much more expansive than it is. It must include a form of a UBI, some sort of system that guarantees the average American family money every month until this is over. Because if they don't, we're going to have more and more people like Georgia and Michigan where they're saying, I don't care. I don't want to starve to death. I need money. We're going to reopen whether you like it or not. And it's the failing of our government as to why people feel that way. Because there needs to be a universal basic income regulated into this system somehow. I don't care if you want to do it through the PPP, which is a good idea, honestly. If you want to expand unemployment or expand the website so people can actually apply and be accepted into unemployment, because that's another huge problem. But all of these things need to be addressed, and Ocasio-Cortez said just that. They have to be addressed or she's not signing on to it. And I think it's really a good move for AOC because as of late, especially in the progressive world, AOC has taken a bath amongst progressives. She had some kind words, not even kind words, but she called Nancy Pelosi Mama Bear. And ever since then, everyone said she was leaning to the center. I find it interesting that yet she's the only one who, on record, voted against the first bailout, says she's going to vote against this because it doesn't do enough for people. And yet, she's the one who's not progressive enough, apparently. I don't hear Elizabeth Warren or Tulsi Gabbard or Bernie Sanders saying any of this stuff. AOC is the only one who's coming to bat for the people. I don't know what kind of purity test they want her to pass in the progressive side, but at least my purity test, she's passing with overwhelming and flying colors. I would hope that the progressives get their head out of their ass and stop bashing her so much or saying that she's just, this is all a show. Because I heard that too. Well, then what do you call what Tulsi's doing? What do you call what Ilhan Omar's doing? Warren, Sanders, what are they doing? Because they're not even bringing the topic to light. We haven't even seen them. They're barely saying anything. Hell, the only thing we actually hear about from most of them is, hey, can you donate? Can you pitch in? We need a little bit of money. I'm sorry, but a lot of them need to step up their game to be as progressive as AOC. And not just on the left either, by the way. People like Josh Hawley, who have touted these kind of the same views in a lot of ways as AOC. He needs to start making it known that this is what he wants and to stand up for it. Instead of just talking about suing China. Like that's a thing right now. Get off your ass and push for the populist beliefs you have. Suing China right now should not be your top priority. Getting people money is basically the first thing. You can argue between tests and whatever else, but working for the people should be your main thing. Not getting money out of China. Not chasing down China like you're a shitty lawyer. This is what you need to focus on. And the only person I see doing it is AOC. Quick update on this, though. So it did pass, actually. I found that out like 10 minutes ago. the the expansion of PPP, or the Paycheck Protection Program, did in fact pass. What? And I'm not gonna even break it down because I don't know, and this video is getting long anyway. But what was given in that was actually $310 billion for the PPP, which is still it's still not enough. Again, our greatest economists and some of our biggest minds into this have said, number one, I'll just real quick, because Daniel Radigan went into this, and he had said that there's a large number of investors and the people, the real movers and shakers in our economy. and they're already working on ways to get us mass rapid testing. Like that's the first thing that needs to just get set in place. And they argued as well, kind of, unilaterally, we should have also funded, or we need to fund the Paycheck Protection Program to the tune of about $1.5 trillion dollars, or some of them, and by the way, most of these are really conservative people. Like they make money with their money. They're those people. Like, and a lot of them believe there should just be an open-ended slush fund, like they have for the 1%, the big corporations, the banks, the Wall Street. They believe small businesses should have that as well. And I agree 100%. So yeah, bringing this bill, the total to what, 660 billion, still falls short of just the 900 billion of what it should have been in the first place. And we've done nothing but drag our feet and wait 20 some days before we actually did it. Too focused on horse trading. And I'm sure AOC voted no. I don't have any confirmation of that. I have no idea. I guarantee this wasn't as popular, so it's not going to be a big deal. She voted no. But I hope that she continues to fight for her ideology and to fight for the average person, no matter if they want her to fight or not. I know there's a lot of people that don't like her, but at least she's principled. Anyway, that's it for that, guys. Thank you so much. You have a great day.